one for good afternoon, everybody. Hope you all are keeping well. So, good time to fall asleep. But how many of you are scared of snakes? And have a raise of hand. We have a good bunch of hands. Good to be afraid of snakes because so am I. I'm also afraid of snakes on a regular basis. That's what keeps me alive. That's what keeps me not getting bitten by snakes, or especially by venomous snakes. If you're not scared of them, and if you're too heroic in nature, then that's when we have seen clear evidences in data how people get bitten by snakes. So anyhow, I'm Gnaneswar. I work at this zoo called as the Madras Rock Bank. It's in Chennai. It's one of the iconic zoos. So I'm asked to tell you, but I think it's a pretty good zoo. And we are one of the oldest private zoos in the country. Of course, by the name, it's not just for crocodiles, and we are not a bank also. We're supposedly a genome bank where we have a lot of species of crocodiles across the world. There are about 17 or 16 species among the 24 species. And we breed them, we introduce them to wild populations, and otherwise them for the zoo. But also, what we do is tons of work on awareness and outreach education work, especially about snakes. They have established. Do you know this man by any chance? Anyone of you? Have you heard of the name Romulus? He is supposedly the snake man of India. He is an American Indian that has lived in India for over 20 years now, working with this endemic tribe who are very vulnerable to recently won to partnership with the tribe. So we were one of the first organizations to help them out in setting up this biggest serpentarium in India where we collect about almost the entire needs of the of India. I'll go back there next. But they were a small group, basically like 6 acres, and then that we are having a lot of animals. I myself, more of a wildlife conservation, like I worked with, especially with reptiles, and I've had a fond interest for a very long time. I've traveled across India and across the world, learn about them and share my experience. So, next is the question. So, please make sure you see these points very relevant. So, snakes are legless. You see a snake with a leg, it's not a snake. So, and do not compare your legs with snakes. Point one. Snakes are much better. So, they have scales. A scaleless snake is not usually found. There are abnormalities where snakes don't really have scales, but they're just abnormalities. Actual thing. And they don't have ears like this. They don't have an external ears, but they do have an eardrum. They may not listen to Raja how we listen to it, but they can listen to it. That's the reason why if you go closer to them, they can hear your vibrations. And they're entirely carnivorous in nature. You don't see snakes eating any vegetarian food like food. And and they're found everywhere across, other than North Pole and South Pole, they're found everywhere. Now, if you see the 4 points, or just the 3 points, let's go here. So scales are basically like how we have skin. Similarly, snakes have a skin. Upon that, they have skin, like hardy layer, exoskeleton, then they call it. And they don't have eyelids. That means they do not close their eyes. That means they can see both your eyes. So how many of you are? And unlike us, how we grow older and we have to change our growth size. Similarly, snakes have their own innate growth, and every time they grow bigger, they have to shed them. So that's how they, as soon as they grow bigger, they have to shed a layer of skin, which we call it the moult or shedding process. And the majority of them kill their prey by sheer force and by sheer they decapitate them, whereas some snakes, maybe about 10% of them, have this potent digestive fluid called as venom, which they use it for capturing the snake and also digest them later. Snakes smell to the tongue. They have nostrils. If you see, they have nostrils here, but that is just for them to take air. But they smell to the tongue. But smell doesn't mean that they can if you spray an axe, they don't follow you. They're basically like their smell organs are such a way that it grabs air particles around it and sends a very informative to make a message back to their brain where there's another organ called the and that sort of tells them, okay, there are a bunch of students here, a bunch of listeners here, so let's go fight them. So something similar. So okay, now you have seen the 3 points. There are 4 animals here, so I'll go one by one. I want to raise a hand. Which among these you think are snakes? Okay, first one. Do you think this is a snake? How many do we have? 1, 2. Okay. What about this? We have 1. You don't need here. Okay, we have 1. Okay. What about this? No? What about this? Okay, why this? Do you see something here that shouldn't be there? Sorry? Exactly. It has an eyelid. This is an earthworm, so yes. What about this? Scales are not there, right? It's a legless amphibian for the Sicilian. It's a legless snake. These 3 are not snakes. Here, this is a brownie line, like India's smallest snake. So by characteristics, we see it doesn't have legs. It has scales all over. It has no eyelids. So that's basically how you identify a snake from any other rope-like looking organism. So snakes in India are worshipped. I'm sure most of you know the fact that amount of worship that goes for snakes. They're also protected. Like certain species of snakes are like so highly protected that killing them voluntarily or even sometimes involuntarily can lead to prison or fine. Snake charming. When I go outside India, I tell you that what do I relate to snakes? First thing they used to have charmers around because that's how people see India. The Taj Mahal, Bollywood of snake charming. That's it. That's how people think. So snake charming has become such an important part of our culture for a very long time. It's not a good part of the culture right now, but it has been a part of our culture for a very long time. But there is something that most of us feel relevant about snakes. It's after undoubtedly. Something, whatever I can do is good. So in India, we have, I think, this term has gone up to 350 species of snakes. About 350 species. And every other day, a new species is being described or discovered. So there's a huge science that's behind snakes. And then among these 350 snakes, I think about 50 to 60 are venomous in nature. And among this 50 to 60 venomous snakes, there are about commonly 4 to 6 species of snakes which are medically important. Medically important are the snakes that are known to cause human fatality. So, and why do we have such diversity of snakes? Is because of how India is actually used. You see, there is Western Ghats, proper rainforest, and you have northeastern rainforest, and then you have the dry landscape of eastern Ghats in central India, and you have arid regions of and desert regions of west, and we have mountains. So this combination of landscapes offer a huge diversity. Like some snakes like to prefer living in the rainforest, some snakes like to prefer living in the rivers. So that sort of puts a huge diversity opportunity for snakes to evolve. And like I said, like every other week or every other month, there is another species of snakes that are being described or renamed. So how do we identify snakes? I go to the common venomous snakes or common non-venomous snakes that you see, but how do we identify snakes is basically not just by color or by the size or by the shape. There are a combination of characters. It's like you have to create one character and then compare it with other. Otherwise, you will never get a character identification. And it's usually not easy to identify snakes based on mobile focus unless nothing is obviously visible. So the science behind identifying snakes is about scales. They have different shapes of scales, different kinds of scales, and on different parts of the body. And you sort of identify them, for example, with the 10 scales. Even it took about a couple of years to understand what they are. The body scales, very common by the visual. So it's a huge science behind it. Only when a person is able to understand these scales, they will be able to identify them correctly. Otherwise, anything is broken, basically. Some of you may know that the difference between poison and venom by textbook definition is that poison is something that do any sort of damage to your body, any means of nutrition. Whereas venom, only if it's going through your bloodstream, it can cause some problems. It's not 100% true, but it's by virtue, yeah, it's in a way. So by this cartoon, it says that if you eat a poison frog, you will fall sick. Whereas if you eat a poison snake, you're not going to eat, but it's very. And then yeah, and poison venom is like a salivary gland. It's not really something that's superficial. It's very similar to the saliva that we're getting in mouth. With high proteins in it, and they're specialized in it. And they have a small storage unit here where the venom is stored, and they're sort of bites. The muscles here contract, and then they push venom out. It's like injection. So very similar to injection. And sometimes they can store a lot of amount of venom and release only one foot of it, sometimes all of it, depends upon pattern. Yeah, coming back to the snake. The most commonly seen venomous snake is the cobra. I mean, you don't even have to think twice. If you see a snake, it is nicely photographed, so basically a cobra, and that's a funny cobra pattern. And this is the most common cobra that we find in India, and also most other India, other than not these in India, the spectacled cobra. And it's called spectacled cobra mainly because of the fact that it has this spectacled white-like pattern. So it puts up when it is like thread, and this pattern opens up. So what it does is, evolutionarily we feel that it is very easy to keep predators away, like saying that I'm looking at you, don't come close. So that's the one reason. And then once it lifts its body height and opens up bigger, suddenly the predator also gets scared, and that opens is much bigger than I thought. And there are also cobras without any pattern. So again, like I said much in the beginning, that you can't just characterize one character. You have to like use multiple characters. For example, see, this doesn't have a spectral pattern, so you call it a figure or not. You should, because that has scalations of similar thing, and they have similar shapes, body length and different. So it's all matters. And yeah, they have typical grain-like scales, which unless not they're putting them like it's so it doesn't matter really. But yeah, but easy thing to identify a cobra is if it puts up, spreads out nicely, then comes the plate, which is a nocturnal species. What you're seeing here is a I'm sure most of you know what's diurnal and nocturnal species are, right? So cranes are predominantly nocturnal, they go out in the night. And sort of, you see, if you look at the eye, they have like the iris is almost inceptible, it's almost entirely black. This also puts them in a spot where they have amazing night vision, but 25 kV. So one, we often say that when we handle traits within the day, they're actually different animals, they're like puppies. When you go gasoline, the puppies that we buy for sure, or their cats. So cranes are pretty time-looking animals. In the night they shine, they're very decent in nature, with flash of all. And they have this patterns of black body with thin white lines all over them, which is a general identification character. But much more scientific character that we think when we look at a crane are this one row of hexagonal scales. That's a very typical character of the crane, and that's not usually seen in and you will like again when you are walking out in the night, you will really go and see this hexagonal order. You just have to walk away from it, irrespective of what the snake is. And then there is another snake which I don't think we find in and around the Trivandrum, but it's for people who live away from here, especially in central and mainland India, South India. You will see the snake called a soft-tail version, which is a tiny snake. We call it the giraffe snake because it calls up like a giraffe. But they don't eat it. But it goes into that stage where it tracks, it's called soft-tail because of its scales. You see it's like a saw, and what it does is, it rubs its scales against each other and makes a crackling sound, like a warning mechanism. And then when you go closer to it, you can hear that crackling sound and you can say, okay, so it's a software like a let's make it a distance. And because it's also small, it's easy to be predicted upon. So it requires a lot more defensive mechanisms. These snakes are as small as feet and a half max. The ones that are found in Rajasthan and all go up to 2 feet, but in South India it's usually 1.5 meters. And typical of a viper, they have a triangular head and very vertical. And then most beautiful venomous I have seen this rabbit spider, one of the most common snakes. And did you see rabbit spider with hand? No. It should be, I get, but if you haven't seen it, it's in exactly low elevation because rabbit spider is one of the main form of snake bites in the planet. And because a lot of people get into it there. Yeah, it's a beautiful looking snake, amazing patterns. Don't be deceived by the looks again here also. So it's got this oval shaped chain-like pattern all across its body. Using this looks very stunning from far, and it has this massive head, a triangular head with massive venom organ. So it means that it explores huge amounts of venom. And yeah, it looks very similar. And when you sort of make the muscle feel vulnerable, it takes a huge amount of air and exhales out through this massive nostril that has here, making it sound like a particular thing. It goes in like and it goes out like. And it sort of blows it out such a way that any animal that is approaching closer, we want perfectly, and we told that okay, I'm not going perfectly. So those are the 4 venomous snakes. I thought I had another slide about it. Let's see. I think I'll try to show you the photos of harmful snakes for those who haven't seen them. But you can see check out your own also. Those looking for which is supposedly the biggest venomous snake in the world. That's also found from Kerala. And just those are the venomous snakes that we think about. There are other kinds of venomous snakes that you might have applied to other big factors, but that's maybe not relevant at this point of time. But yeah, coming back to the non-venomous snakes, which you may find it on campus, so you may find one of them is boas, which is like, I mean, there are a lot of myths around non-venomous snakes in the country, especially for their shape and for the size. For example, boas, you see, they have got the tail, which is a tail, by the way, which looks very similar to a head, shape of a head. So, biologically, what snakes thought while evolving for millions of years is that, okay, I'll grow an organ which is similar to my head, so that when a predator comes, I will sort of show it off, and predator thinks it's killing my head, but it's actually killing my tail, and then I can kill. So, they thought through this for millions of years and finally evolved into this. But then, certain species of animals, thought that this is basically another head. So 6 months the snake goes towards the east and 6 months the snake towards the west. So that's how we interpret. That's not how we were interpreting evolutionary science for a very long time in a very wrong manner. And they use the tails for different purposes, not just for anti-predation, but also like sometimes they use that to block the hole or the burrow that they're living in and all. But people have been selling these animals saying that they're suspicious. Red sand rows especially are sold for enormous amounts of money, saying that if you have a red sand row in the farm, it will help your production. I don't know the hundreds. But that's how they're being people have this knowledge about things. And and if you see, there's a term that I've used here. There will be parrots. I think they should call them will be parrots. That means that they don't lay eggs really. They give birth to young ones. Like they have an egg stage which is in their womb, but they give directly to young ones. And then comes the pythons. Similar, boas are like small size, maybe about 2 to 3 feet tall. Pythons, on the other hand, can grow up to 20 feet. Some of them, obviously, up to 25 pythons can grow massively big. The bigger you grow, doesn't mean that they're not chickens, the tropics. So they go basically for like deer or rabbits or something like that. And it's also that our shoulder girth is not something that they can open their mouth up to, but they have to contract and also. Usually they don't prefer us and they're also quite big for them and quite bony as opposed to yeah. So there's a big misconception that okay, pythons eat humans. So a lot of social media photos have been posted. Very badly photoshopped that they have been posted. So people assume that. So we sort of go to communities and tell them no, pythons don't eat humans. Here is how we show them videos of how standing them, us catching them, and all just so that you understand. And pythons have this pits right in front of the nose. So it's also called the heat sensing organ. So just like how we have a linear vision, they also have a thermal vision where they can hear depending upon the kind of play or kind of object that they're able to identify and navigate their game. They have a nice tail side. They have a very strong tail that helps them both climbing up a tree and also while swimming or while staying underwater. So they're very happy to get hard work. And then comes this tiny king snake that I usually found everywhere. I'm sure that we should have found it also. Especially during the rainy season, quite a few of them come out. They're called the blind snakes. They're considerably blind. They have a layer of scale above their eye, which is very thick, so the thought of putting them in a layer. And because of the nature that they live most of the time underground, under soil, they don't really rely on their visual instinct. They rely more on the sense of the tongue and their being able to hear and see more variation. And they're very small, like the brownie banks, the banking because at the smallest snake is as big as 20 centimeters, is biggest metal speech. When they're born, they're like as big as the king. And then there are effects that are being non-venomous snakes. All this can be a little bit overwhelming while I speak through, but you can always speak through this fast. But yeah, these keelbacks are kind of snakes which are found in and across water bodies. I think checkered is the only thing that you might find here, maybe or striped keelback, I'm not sure, but checkered is the most common. And I don't like the snake because it bites a lot. And yeah, but then it's called a checkered keelback mainly because of its pattern. It's a very obvious thing. Snakes are named after the visual pattern. For example, checkered keelback is being called checkered because of the checkerboard-like pattern in its body. Striped keelback because it has this two linear stripes all across its body. And olive keelback is because of the color. So that's how they identify snakes is important text for it. And but yeah, when they live around water bodies, and they live around water bodies, they feed mostly on fishes, and frogs, mostly toads. But they also act as a huge indicator of a healthy and sustainable ecosystem. There are keelbacks, that means there are frogs, which are bioindicators, that means there are predators. So it's an important aspect of ecosystem to have things like this. And there are two more keelbacks which are again I try to show you in the ending of this presentation. Which you might spot the tail keelback and the bed and the tail keelback. Anyhow, coming back to this, so when you're in water, snakes cannot breathe in water. They do not have gills. Similar to animals like us, they have lungs, so they have to come out of water. And when they're in water, they come their entire body out of the submarine. They get easily predated. So what submarine does, if you see, they come just nostril part of it comes out, they can signals or messages and companies. Similar to snakes, the surface part of the head just comes to the surface, it just breaks the water tension. And they have this upward facing nostrils. So what it does is it sort of just puts the nostrils over the water surface and then they breathe and they can go back. So this helps them in sort of preventing any sort of aerial predation or any sort of other predation. So very evolutionary, that is a very crucial part of the. And then are the tree snakes, which I suppose you might have seen long back. And the blind snakes are also pretty common. Looks very similar. Again, a lot of myths around the snake. I don't know how many of you know, but if you go talk to your ground staff or health domestic health, you just ask them about what do they know about snakes. First thing that comes is unfriendliness. So that's how snakes have been portrayed throughout life. May it be in Bollywood, may it be in cinema, may it be in serials, may it be in even in literature, snakes have been told. For example, wine snakes, which are the cherry snakes, are known to be called as snakes that only poke their eyes and they sort of steal you by poking their eyes. It's not really that. And on that, it's regionally different, but yeah, there are a lot of myths. And yeah, but they're harboring in nature. If you look at the tails, they have this long inside tails, which helps them sort of hold on to a twig, hold on to a branch, and then quickly commute between one tree to another tree. And that's very important. But if you see a snake with very long tail, it's hard to differentiate between body and tail, but if you're able to do that, you can say that it's a very tree-dwelling snake. Catherine, do you have that? Have you seen that? Do you know this Catherine? I'm sure there are cat snakes, other species also here, because common cat snake is not really so common in this field, but there are other species of cat. They're called cat snakes because of their, if you look at their face structure, it looks very similar to cat, apparently. And their eyes also shape similar to cat. So, I don't know if the cats are cat. And one of the most common snakes that you find very often is the rat snakes, which again by name they're supposed to keep only on rats, but yeah, but they're one of the biggest indicators of rodent population. And they're also called as friend of farmers because they keep a lot of rodents. Is one of the top 5 threats to food security in India. And snakes, if they eat rodents, they're actually contributing to food security in India, contributing to food production in India. That's the reason why a lot of us make agriculturists understand that if they keep going to kill snakes, that means that the rodent population is increasing, and there is no natural predation for the rodent population. You can't put pesticides and insecticides to the crop that's fall. So we've been trying to educate people about those things. And yes, again, very similar looking to cobra snake is, so people often get confused. I'll go to the next part where after is things. Then there are cookies, which I suppose we have a strict cookie here. I don't know what, again, there are mindful norms and mindful architects. Cookies are snakes. You know what a cookie is? You know what a cookie is? No. You know what a cookie is, right? That's okay. So cookie is a kind of a knife that is used for. It's a very curvy knife that is sort of, I'm not sure if it's how they explain this, but it's a very curvy knife that's used for battles and also in rice farms and all. Especially in Nepal, Manipur, Mizoram, all these other cookies are very different. Yeah, it's like a boomerang shape. So the teeth are actually in a shape of cookies, so that's called a cookie snake. And one interesting thing about this snake is it feeds on ants, and we thought initially that it feeds on ants, but apparently it feeds on egg, and not just eating egg. It uses its scale, this scale called the rostral scale. It breaks a part of an egg and sucks the yolk out. It doesn't really eat the entire egg. It just breaks a little bit and like a juice, how we take off a coconut. Similarly, it eats the yolk out. It's very unique behavior in snakes that we see. And then there are wolf snakes, which are, again, I think they are common here, especially our wolf snake. Nocturnal species. Coming back to the localized. I think this is the part where we might want to a little bit focus more on, because often easy that we don't understand the difference between a venomous snake and non-venomous snake, especially the ones that look very similar to it. You see here, cobra when it's hooded up and a rat snake when it's not hooded up are very different shapes. You can tell them. But when they are not, when the cobra is not fed up and it's just the same lesion manner, it's very hard to differentiate. Can one of you tell me the difference between these two pictures? Tongue is not the difference. Scales, okay. But let me tell you, think of it from a realistic perspective. You can't really see scales. Exactly, yeah. The lips have stripes which are not at all present in cobras. Maybe in one line once in a while, but barely. So if you see a snake without any color, this color snake without any streaks on the face, that means that it's possibly a cobra. So you have to keep make sure that that's there. So these are the tiniest visible and facial characters. Then there is these two rat snakes. One is a crane and one is a barred bull snake. Even now, once in a while, we get confused when the pictures are not very clear. It's very difficult to tell them apart. The only easy character to tell them apart is this row of rectangle scales, but they're not always visible, not always possible to identify them in the night. It's yet back, but it's better irrespective of it having occupied a lot of different states. So, but one blind character that I often tell people is that if they have paired thin white lines all over its body, then it's a tail. If they have these funky fat lines all over the body, then it's a snake. It's just me getting myself on you. And then there is cat snakes that look very similar to sausages are again very difficult to identify. I think both are, I don't think we find sausage here, so it's not really very relevant to you, but it's here. And yeah, one of the most difficult part for people, especially for common people, is the difference between the wood viper and python. One day, a person brought a bag in which he said he got a python in a house, and they got it to us at the drop back. And me and one more person who were there, we received very complicated feedback. Thank you so much for bringing this snake out. Turns out to be a full question. So, as gently as I pulled it out, as gently I had to keep it back because thankfully it didn't fight because it was already dehydrated, but it did. Haven't decided here. So yeah, that's how different sometimes we get. We didn't think about it, so it's very easy to get deviated from this. But since we have this beautiful chain-like pattern, very it's like God's art. Like he made sure that everything is perfect and round and all. Then when it comes to pythons, I don't know what happened there. I think it was trying to abstract. I think we just trying to put something there. So yeah, so that's what has happened there. But that's the easiest way to tell because both are triangular heads, both are each and two organs. Otherwise, it's not very easy. What do snakes eat is another very simple question to answer. But they have wide range of options, which I suppose you don't have it. Yeah. So they eat on geckos. So if you see geckos, that means that they attract a lot of. Then there are toads and frogs that they love, especially toads. And there are rats, there are snakes everywhere. So most of the snakes prefer rats. Any snake that is big or in length between 2 to 10 feet, they prefer rats. And majority of the snakes are in that range. And there are snakes that eat other snakes also, like what's called cannibalism, where certain species, other species. And all this attracts other snakes. A snake attracts another snake, or a rat attracts another snakes. And looking at the size of it, you see snakes as small as 15 centimeters to 10 centimeters to some snakes that I've seen in Mizoram or Andhra, 20. And there are records of retic pythons and other ones that are even more bigger. So snakes grow in huge size, and unlike us, we stop growing at a certain age. I think when we reach adulthood, we stop growing at that age, like 100 but and the snakes, on the other hand, sort of grow throughout their life. Of course, the rate at which they grow keeps decreasing, but they grow throughout their life. So that's the reason why animals that are in a zoo are actually much more bigger than the animals that are in the wild. And there are a lot of behavior that snakes have to do because they don't have legs and they don't have hands, they cannot sit down. So they have to sort of use their body to tell predators that okay, don't come to them and all. And one of the best things that they do is use these threat behaviors. For example, the trinket snake. And trinket, what it does is it shapes up like this and opens its black mouth and tries to scare away any predator that comes to it because it doesn't have venom in it. So it has to show its physical problem. And it pops up its body like this, where it looks bigger and looks. Every snake has a different mechanism. So how to avoid snakes is one of the easiest things for everybody to understand because as much as you see snakes, you should also learn to avoid them. This is very basic stuff. I don't know how to read through it, but yeah, it's basically making sure that you're not walking out in the night with making sure that everything is clean and you don't have any holes in your walls, and if you're not having overgrown bushes. And when you're walking outdoors, have to be careful and as much as possible use mesh nets and all. Again, textbook basically describe how to avoid snakes and how to prevent snake bite is basically making sure that you're cautious. Because snakes, they try to be cautious, but it's not always that sometimes you stumble upon them at such a rate that they will not be able to flee. Snakes prefer fleeing before that happens, but certain times they cannot. And you have to make sure you're quite walking in the night. I'm sure most of you departments walk in the night and you're pretty much at each other. You won't think what's going on next to each other. So please make sure that you do not or stick. It helps you sort of avoid a snake bite. And then Don't make sure that if you're sitting at any place which is doesn't have enough lighting or enough manicuring, make sure that you know where you're sitting with the torchlight. It can everywhere. And never try to carry something if you're not sure what to do. Even if you're sure what it is, make sure that someone else also confirms that you guide you to put it back. Same thing applies to your ground staff. Please tell them that if they ever try to kill a snake or catch a snake, they should be the avoided both ways. Yeah, what do you do when you see a snake? The first thing is leave it alone. And if you do that, it's pretty much helpful for everybody. And if you want to like sort of take pictures or anything, maintain that heavy distance before you get this on the snake. You don't move around it very vigorously and do not try to corner it. There's a snake in this room. Let's say that the only possible entrance for it is like do some sand or something because not like that somebody is not a flat or anything. The main door. It will be like somewhere sneaking from one of the corners. So make sure that it finds that corner or take a long stick and drag it to a place, like in an enclosed area. It's always useful that way. That so keep a safe distance from it, and then do not try to go hot water or any sort of chemicals over the snake. And because that sort of doesn't give them most of the time, it injures them so badly that they're like in terrible pain. And yeah, sometimes when people get bitten while trying to kill it, there are instances where people use the stick to hit it, and snakes usually tend to wrap around when anything touches them. And when you throw the stick back as a rebound, it came and hit something in the face. I don't know why you're laughing. So that also happens all the time. I do not believe in this. A lot of people sell this fake machinery that says that if you put this, snakes will not come. If you spray chemical, snakes will not come. If you leave onion peels, snakes will not come. I don't move fish without using onion stuff. But all that doesn't work. Snakes are not like that. They get attracted to it. And if there are no rodents, they will not take it. In the previous, this is applicable for Chennai only. But for Kerala, you have an application called Sarva. You can download it in your mobile phone and you can see. And if anybody there's a requirement of a snake rescue bot, you can open that map and then use like a Ola for rescuer. You can just tell where you are, a rescuer will come and pick you. So Sarva is like the most independent. Why should you not kill a snake? Is firstly because it's punishable crime. And they also play a crucial role in the ecosystem. It's very important to sort of have snakes in the business. Otherwise, a lot of there are incidences in parts of Southeast Asia where, because of the excessive killing of snakes, rodent population have increased in such a way that they lost their food security very soon. And most of it is that. And I often tell this, a very straightforward logic is that if you're killing a non-venomous snake, the place becomes better. For example, if you're living, say you're living in a hospital, with your best friend, who's living next door, and there's a good chance that a bad person might come and occupy that place. So similarly, do not kill snakes, because if you kill snakes, there might be a venomous snake that will come in that area. So it will probably make things even worse. To avoid killing snakes, you can replace them, like sort of relocate them to a healthy distance of a kilometer or somewhere outside campus, but try not to kill. Snakebite scenarios are when people are like, it's relevant to the 90% of snakebite scenarios. Maybe it is not something that doesn't belong to you, but that's how people get bitten across India. Is that when you work in the farmland, they talk about footwear, they talk about protective wear. We sleep outdoors without a mat, without a cord, and when they walk outdoors at night with lighting, that's how that's when like most of the snake bites happen. We didn't practice something that was basically on paper. So, in an event of snake bite, it's like First thing if you do is run. Somebody said run. Yeah, don't run. Try to walk. It's okay, but do not run. Try to remain calm if you know. I mean, not really applicable when you become better with everybody happens. So, but it's try your best to sort of remain calm because it's important to reduce your blood pressure. Because when I'm close to blood and if you have a lot of blood pressure, then it sort of comes to heart pressure. So try to remain calm as much as you can. Do not move vigorously, like do not run, do not really take a marathon. Try to call someone for help. This cartoon like things are basically not for you. But call someone for help. Maybe a friend or if you have a medical facility within the campus, call them and use like help, take the help in carrying patient to the emergency vehicle or something like that. And while taking them, make sure that you take away any of rings, watches, or pockets and just take them into the rings, watches, anklets, bracelets, everything, so that it doesn't restrict the venom flow on the flow. And what do you think you should do back after all this? Do you think you should tie or cut or do something? Anything that would, as a first thing, what are you expected to do? Wash it, one, then? That's it. Not COVID. Okay, tie a cloth over the bite, like say I've bitten the hand, I tie a cloth. Okay. Anything else? Sorry? I didn't understand. I didn't get it. Suck the venom out? Okay. Do we have any other appetite or anything else? Yeah, I expect. Okay. Anything else? Nobody time. And nothing else. Think of cutting it, letting the blood like. Sorry, did I get it? Try the data type. Okay. Most of you are wrong, but do not do anything because what happens is if you try anything against your own side, tightly, what it does is sort of holds on to the leg. So there are two consequences of this. One, the process of anti-venom working in the body is via dilation. Has to go to the entire body. Unless nothing is venom is diluted throughout the body, anti-venom cannot act immediately. So if you like try anything very tightly, the venom gets congested in one part of the hand, one part of the affected area. It sort of ruptures the entire area out and it kills the entire tissue there. There is no recovery back there. So you lose a hand, but there is an argument that I can lose a hand over like this contract. You can also see it flow, but just by letting it flow on its own and making sure that nothing is stopping. And the second thing is, if you tie something to your hand very tightly, once you reach to a hospital, once that is released, a huge pressure that is built up there pumps into your heart much quicker than antivenom can. That sort of puts you in a systemic shock. It's very, very positive clinical system where doctors open that tiny little tiny knot and suddenly the patient knows it's the shock and nice. So you should never tie anything over there. Don't try to suck the venom out because it doesn't work that way. It's like you have milk, putting coffee over it, mixing it, and you cannot suck the coffee back out because it's leaving the milk there. Very similar. So very similar is that you cannot suck the venom out after it's once gone into your body. So you have to make sure that you do it. Ice may not work. Ice doesn't feel, you're not really heating up your body to cool it down. Sort of, it's only to sweating or not sweating. Washing maybe is not advisable because sometimes it's important to know which part of the body snake has bitten. So that immediate test can be taken. They can a doctor can make a tiny incision to remove the pressure and all. If you wash your hands vigorously, that might also sort of push, massage the venom deeper into your body and sort of also remove signs of bite. It's not advisable. The thing is, if the patient calm, take them to an ambulance or any other places of hospital now. The closest tertiary hospital that we have there is Gnaneswar, pretty good at it. And a couple of other clinics. And all the jewelries, all the watches, there's everything. Anything that can go along with. Some people, especially paramedics in an ambulance, can use a pressure bandage to sort of influence the pressure that is being developed in the body. That's only the paramedics. We should not write down. Once we go into a hospital, here in this video is given the leg or hand, it's not given the leg or hand, it's given the saline. And that goes to your body fluid. That's how it sort of makes sure that your venom in the body is utilized. And these are from textbooks, seriously textbooks, taught also. So snakes cannot be identified using the eye shape or anything like that. One snake and one snake. And these scales that you see at underside of the tail, how do they seriously go expect somebody to go to the snake, see the underside and put it down? So irrelevant, and you cannot tell, like, snakes don't really, they're not tattoo artists who come perfectly close and give you 2 bites, 2 kind bites. They're very quick. So once they bite, it's like a scratch. So you get 2 prings and you get combination of both. Same. So you can never say by looking at a hand print, you can never say the venom is big or not. I'll quickly skip into what snakebite mitigation is, and that usually the biggest project that we do. Snakebite is like probably the biggest thing, probably the biggest thing I have application, right? Because snakebite is not also. Snakebite usually happens mostly in tropical parts of the country because of the snakes are everywhere. Not just about snakes being available, it's also about kind of socio-economic the country plays, kind of occupations that are major to the country. For example, India and Africa have a large river population. So snakes coexist there and sort of that's where snakebite happens. But then Australia that has over 120 species of venomous snakes, there still are like barely any snakebite deaths in their entire family. So that's how different it is. This is how many people die because of all these animals. Comparatively, like the biggest wildlife company. So crocodiles are supposedly bigger than every kind of tigers and whatever. About 22,500, and snakes alone kill about 1 lakh people across the world in a span of 8 years. That's the estimate. And if you see this, like, how big it's basically. It's more complicated. That's why it's a little complex and not a little complicated. The snake can run like this. And it's moved in the something like that basis. Very well. It's not just deaths. Hundreds of thousands of people also like they have problems. Serious infection, severe deformities. They can lose legs and hands, but they not better to work in their life anymore. Yes, for example, this child cannot walk the same way to the so that's how it's problem is. It's not just living with a good social life. Not just people die, but countless number of things that have been done. You go to Facebook and just press make with no result of people killing and those kids for their actual lives. Everybody's initial fear, everybody's told that business will kill. Irrespective of what people are doing. That's what I'm asking the mentality of majority of the country. And even as possible. And the reason why we have such a big problem in India, first is because of this big news and all that. Somebody recognized maybe not, maybe was not you believe that because in rural India, a lot of them don't believe that they should go out. And then they sort of go to a temple or a mosque or somewhere where they think they can get healing and all. Then they go to traditional healers where they take medicines and all. Snakebite is like a road accident. Somebody is driving and follow the island, we take them head. We don't take them to isolate. We take them to emergency care. Similarly, snakebite is over and they have to be taken to a hospital. And because of all this, is one piece. Second is that in hospitals in India are so underdeveloped. Most of the asking what the hospital provides to the environment. Most of them are so underdeveloped that they cannot have these emergency patients coming in with a pain. And there is probably venom. There is an interesting fact is that the same species of snake, the same prey that is found here, the venom of that varies geographically as you go on. That's because of the kind of kind of temperature settings are there. But like I mentioned, actually, we catch snakes from two districts where we got milk venom that's required for 90 to 90% of the country. So that's venom produced from one specific part of the country, but being antivenomous being made to the rest of the country. Sort of doesn't go well with the So what we do mostly is sort of go educate communities, educate rural places where they need to catch the snake, especially in children. But it's really hard to manage older generation because they're already used to this. We also announce of misinformation that we are not related to it. But children, on the other hand, are quite receptive to newer information. And they're always in a good mood. And if you look at this picture, we know how old it is. So that's a pretty old photo. It's in this question architect. And yeah, we do a lot of, we see a lot of films. The films about snake and snake. And that sort of is the biggest thing. You know, in India, you see a film everybody does it. Somebody's talking about it. So huge fun. We gather crowds together, communities, and we screen these films. In auditoriums, outdoor, we take a vehicle out to that screen and see these films. Something about we should learn about. And we also made a song. Basically like helping communities to understand like what they should do about snake bite, how to prevent, how to avoid, and snake bite, and then what we do to get it. Sort of thought, especially in rural population, it gets huge attraction. And I was scammed into dancing here. So, and then have you heard about yeah, so Rohan and us, we did this cycle for higher school students and all, where we did sort of helps people understand that we can coexist with maintain that difference. That's being there. And we've been taking workshops, art galleries, trying to understand everything about it. And we sort of work with a wide network of organizations and entities. And we train people who train the faculty and most of the time we train them how ground staff, and we do a lot of venom research. Our venom findings were the fact that it said that there was a huge diversity of so we catch snakes across the country and do the research about it. We tell them about the venom, where the different and Surfa is something similar to Surfa, but Surfa is a mobile application that you have to take that. If you go to Surfa, it's a combination of calling for rescue, reporting a snakebite incident. If you need to know what to go to the hospital that you have, even if you want a workshop, you can take come at the visit. And Surfa has been instrumental because it's created a lot of value in Kerala especially. Yeah, other than treating the garment boards, we also run a field station out there. Otherwise, it's paying for the station in Karnataka, where we do people research. It's like two male people and in each other down with the figures. And there is a amount of happening standing and looking at them like their hands. So that this tolerance, if you see this tolerance was achieved mainly because of like a wide range of education activities. Here also we see this. I don't know why he's so happy about it. But yeah, but I think it will ask those. So there's a people who are just make up on this very particular. They know that it's not a jump on there's a story behind this. Uh, we went to Mumbai once and then the rescue was again rescued there. And we became rescued and we ordered a hot masala dosa that was kind of clean because rescue was because people were so sad looking at the masala dosa and just come back and we walked and we went to this home there. Very old auntie was sitting there and she was very clean. I was like, okay, fine. Tell me, no, wait. Then she got us to her living room and she found out that the snake was this. Snake was over this wooden wall and behind us was a small TV. There were always people sitting there. They were all watching this. Yeah, the thing in Mumbai is that the dish service only comes when there is no TV. So there was a nice funny fact. So they were getting all the serious about the temperature. So can you wait up half an hour? They will finish that. Then come and catch the snake. We were all sitting there together, eating the snake will come out, the snake was not a clear over there. So they were like, that's how much tolerance that people there have because they learned that people are learning snake that doesn't bite. There has been zero tests there have been tests where people mishandle the program, one such person who has an idea is our situation. But people, other people who have tried to think about mainly because they are mishandling. Otherwise, people who keep the business never goes close to it. Even when we handle tries to come and do mock charges, that there is no point in wasting on that. And that's what we tell communities there, right? Because you people can follow it. And we use it back. And don't worry about it. Now, most of these people, they know that people are these other kinds. It's important to have people that that doesn't might be what people are doing. A lot of them, once we restrict on their answers, they say that we will finish it in the fact that that's the kind of problems that community-based interactive programs not just in just in single very low. And we also do a lot of research. This is something that most of people I don't want to come to a 1 month or a 2 week shop research basis. You can come to programs or you can come to here you think over that we are putting up a radio column which sort of helps them to navigate through. And we then start following them and see how they know about, where they go, what's the behavior like, how much do they travel during the making student, how much do they travel during the non-making student, and all. And yeah, majority of the work that we do is mostly about promoting this. For example, like once we rescue the snake, we don't get them handle like this. But yeah, we tell them that this is how it is. We don't have to say the snake. We can use it in the surroundings and also tell them the reasons why and help communities to understand that snakes and people can coexist very easily. This takes a little bit of ignorance. Here's the brothers of this. So a little bit of ignorance and people can like to take because we are very tenets. Please drop by the problem is like this is further always come and walk it. Yes, wide range of oriented knowledge. And also another thing. And there will be 2 weeks, 1 month course, you need to go online and happy to it. So that's done. So I don't know if you have any questions, I'm open to take up. There is any snake that you have seen between here and that one, because otherwise there is morning. Here the snake that is found here that what is it? You don't have this line with the partition. Utmost requirements are considered as medically important things in case of people have died or have gone various activities. So even though we call that there are 24 times takes for the antibiotics, this utmost requirement is me. And their venom has the potential to be better. Whereas Malabar people, there hasn't been any strong evidential report that says that people have died because of Malabar people. And people have been taken by the survived because antivenom is not made for Hamilton or Malabar people. It's only made for people. So people don't usually give antivenom. I'm not really sure about that particular thing. I think mobs are basically various ways of taking and around. I'm not really sure from the various mobs. But we have answered on. It's difficult to diagnose everybody. The best part is to make sure that everybody understands that a certain part of campus are important to find out. Don't tell the staff to pass them or just center the place where there are we can make sure we watch. You can also do construction in different construction. For example, in certain place where I can see that and just raise walls to a certain height, soft and walls. So snakes wouldn't really come into the border. So it's very difficult. So usually what we do is we go to certain places where they want to center and we go to identify the spot and give them spot specific information because it's really hard to get right answer. But the best part is if you identify any such area, good to go there or take a that. Other than that, there are nothing that is you can use to prevent. Yeah. No, I'm not tried. I don't do beer, but in general, but I've heard about snake venom being used for different purposes. One is alcohol. Do you mean snake venom in a beer? Okay. I don't think you drink beer enough, but I'm pretty sure. But then there are snake venom is used in party culture a lot. There is good advice to understand that it doesn't feel sure. Because all these, a lot of people use units to tell you that snake venom as a snake venom is orally consumed, it doesn't do any effect. Your body might fall not what you want to happen. And second thing is to take it as a tip of the tongue or something or other. It's not a very and I'm not very sure about this snake venom beer. It could be that beer brand name. I've never really heard about it, but yeah, people use different kinds of names to cover brands also. But I don't think so. I mean, snakes, once when they're starved, there have been cases. It is very relevant to what people just ask. And I'm mentioning probably that somebody gave this social media comment on starving a snake and feeding it beer. We drank it. At the end of the day, it's trying to get into the bottle. And but usually, it's that I think that as I people in the body, I don't think they do for the vegetarian agriculture. They also require that warmth in a area. So plants don't really even in microbes and I don't think they really need it. But there has been cases of a snake trying to eat a rabbit, which is probably because a rat covered over it. It smelled it and it tried to eat it. But it's very rare that they most of the time only and top of it diet, but snakes I don't think they do. I don't think it gives them time which should have the longer than I usually avoid jumping into this anyone in my idea because of the fact that recent scientific studies have proven that non-venomous have venom. So venom is not just a kind of a chemical that is about the digestive system. So almost all snakes have the digestive system. And few venomous on the snakes that was initially labeled, which has mild amounts of venom. So it supposedly causes slightly nausea and also, for example, green mice that I showed earlier is known to have mild amounts of venom, which may cause some sort of irritation or nausea. I've been written by that's entirely dependent. Semi-venomous is a term that is usually outdated, I would say now. We can call it venomous. non-venomous, even non-venomous biology, we call it dangerous or harmful, to keep in scientific knowledge. But unenviable is maybe not applicable in most cases. But they do have, some snakes have a little bit of extra venom that might cause mild osteoporosis. And that's unfortunately, that is the biggest problem why people have so far antivenom is very cure. People are working on new age drugs that are more oral in nature, like products, not taken in and it is expected for every government hospital to have it, but government hospitals even we are trying to figure that out ourselves because, like I said, well, we know that it's right. So sometimes, for example, the beginning of my talk, the amount of noise and available are not getting the talk. It was similarly very hard to tell the snake. As, for example, if bites a person or bites anything, they don't know that it's injected 100% of its capacity. So it can also deliver a second bite of the capsule. Distribute third bite, one pound. So let's say that's 100% of the capacity. Then maybe it will take a few days with the help of the practical. For example, what we do is we have we capture 10,000 to 20,000 snakes every year with capture. We give between each venom milking to give them 5 to 6 years so that they need and they get body. But that is very individually specific. Some snakes can do that in a day, and some snakes it's very hard to tell. But usually, it is that a snake quickly regenerates when people have days. That's all it has access to. Good job. Yeah. Venom and yeah, same thing. That's the same process that we use in India also. How antivenom is made is we take venom, sort of lyophilizes. You know what lyophilization is? We take the water content out of it and we send it to a pharmaceutical. What they do is we take that lyophilize, again add some distilled water and sort of pump it into a pot, the diluted mass. And it goes through its hot blood or antibodies in its blood. Basically, how a vaccine system. And once we know that thoughts have developed the antibody, the blood is taken out of the thoughts. The centrifugal manner, so they put a pipe, it goes to the centrifuge and comes back into its body. It's like an external artery. And in the centrifugal process, what they do is they take the sera out of its blood, where the platelets and the antibodies are, and they use it to manufacture antibodies. That's the process. That's able to, that's been there for the past. That's how they've been doing vaccines. That is the thing that we're trying to advocate is that it's time to change with practices. So 1 out of 4 people are ready to think because they don't know how to react to oxygen activity. The 90% itself is allergic to something. So our body is allergic, they take a shot of antivenom that will be quicker than venom itself. Not that we not take antivenom, but that's of course doctors make sure that venom doesn't happen. That's the reason why people are advised never take antivenom on your own. Not a home drug that only under the clinician can be used. You can never carry antivenom in your pocket. On his pocket, it doesn't work. It's aligned with the molecular doctor. We need a couple of supplementary drugs, neurostimulators, and all, and that's how we do it. Yeah, they're supposed to have right after because they haven't developed them all the time. In fact, people say that juvenile learning have a potential, more potential than adult skills. And they are less control of their, they say that they fight the next 100% capacity after that in one go. And they also feel on much more quicker doing their brain. So they have to make sure that they are very strong. So people like to play with them. Because we have slightly less ability.
Yeah, I think we can wrap up now. Yeah. Thank you, Gnaneswar. That was an incredible talk. And I think we can move on. Yeah. By the way, thanks for attending. And tonight we have a walk at 9:30, led by Gnaneswar himself. We'll start at BFR at 9:30. So please.
Take a thought, if you really for the walk. These are